want to treat yourself with that same level of respect, because that's going to give you the confidence and self-assurance to then stand up to and face the people in your life who might be your friendship group that drink a lot, and say, no, I'm treating my body with a bit more respect now. Like, I just don't want to drink. Because the other thing is, like, I feel the initial thing is probably to lie on why you don't want to go out drinking that night. It's like, oh, I'm just not feeling right, or oh, I've got some family coming over, or oh, I'm looking after X's child, I'm looking after whatever. I've got to build a new coffee table. I've got to, whatever the excuse is. But that only lasts so long. It gets to a point when you've got to go, hey, do you want to hang out? And you've got to say no. And they're going to say, well, why? What's going on? What are you doing? Like, no.
Hey, you've missed a few nights out. What's going on?
Yeah. Nothing. I've just, I'm improving my life, and I don't feel like drinking plays into that anymore. It's difficult for me to go to a pub without drinking. Therefore, I'm just not going to pubs.
The reason that's difficult is because it demands a very high level of self-respect.
Mm.
And that's what you're alluding to, is to put yourself in that scenario and respect yourself enough to say that with authority that people will listen. And that's not to say people will always listen. If anything, they might push back. But it means it demands self-respect from you. It's not subtle, it's, damn, you're reclaiming some power.
Yeah.
But what I've also, like I'm touching on, is the crab mentality. So some friends may consciously or unconsciously resist your growth because it highlights their stagnation or their issues. So if that person that is trying to become not an alcoholic or wants to drink less or reduce their consumption and better their life, if they tell those friends, I'm not drinking, this is causing too many issues in my life, I need to cut it out because I want to be a better version of myself, they might consciously or unconsciously resist that because it means they have to take an honest look at themselves. And they probably don't like the version that they're looking at. They might throw back, oh, so you think you're better than us now, do you? All these kind of cliches, but it's true, man. Like, if you want to better yourself, you're going to be met with resistance from people that do not or refuse to better their own life.
Yeah. And it can even be as bad as you would have been that person to say, oh, you think you're better than us now? And then you become that person. And it's horrible when the answer is, yes, I do think I'm better than you, because I'm actively taking steps to what I think is the right direction, and you haven't moved for 10 years. I haven't moved for 10 years. Therefore, I'm going to make the next 10 years different.
Yeah.
And it's just having that strength to face up to those people and say, no, like, I'm taking a stand now. It's
the definition of insanity, isn't it? What you touched on, which is doing the same thing day after day and expecting a different outcome. If they've been doing it for 10 years, how are they going to change? It's insane to assume that someone would become a better version of themselves by doing the same thing day after day.
Yeah.
But they are. It's going to highlight where they're falling short in their life and how they need to improve. And they'll either want to grow with you and be like, you know what, man, you're 100% right. We need to improve this. We're getting old now. We need to look after our bodies. Or they're going to throw it back at you. They're not going to want to hang around with you. They're going to probably pick holes at you, make fun of you. And that's fine. If someone wants to willingly get out their life because they're not willing to make their life better or actively want to make your life worse, let them leave.
It can almost make your life easier.
Yeah. Let them walk away. If someone doesn't serve you and they're going to cause you grief, walk away. But another part of sort of mourning that comes into this as well, as you level up, however you want to phrase it, is you're going to be mourning your sense of self as well, because you're probably going to lose parts of yourself that kept you safe and protected. Again, this analogy of the alcoholic might be using the alcohol to numb a past trauma from their childhood, or a way they feel insignificant in the world, or their lack of connection. So they're going to have to mourn the person that kept them safe. And that's a little bit harder to do because it requires a little bit more introspection. And it's less obvious than friends being outgrown or dismissing your new path that you've decided to take. but you've got to almost identify that you are going to change as a person. You are going to leave behind those old thought patterns that kept you safe. And there's going to be a little bit of a grey area as you transition into this new person. But just because something kept you safe doesn't mean it was necessarily healthy.
And it doesn't necessarily mean it meant it even kept you safe. It may have just made you oblivious.
Yeah, this is it. So true. So it's all the funerals in life that no one tells you have to attend as you grow. You don't have to, but you likely are going to move on from past friendships, relationships that could even be family members as well, unfortunately. The past versions of yourself, all these mini wins are almost micro funerals that you have to hold for different persons. It's like you're no longer speaking the same language as someone, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like your life philosophy is now so different. Like how could you expect to maintain that relationship on either of your sides? Because even the person that's like, oh no, you should come out for a drink, you should, it's like you instantly are coming at life from two different angles. One has seen the light and the other one hasn't. It's like one is showing with their actions that they're willing to change, the other one isn't.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words. And if you're actively making changes to be better, yeah, you're likely going to ostracize those people you've hung around with before.
Yeah.
So is it possible to be loyal to your past self while being true to your future? In the terms of growth, we're going to sort of box that question in. Is it possible to be loyal to your past self or to your past while being true to your future?
I think it depends on growth, on what area of growth. I think it probably should be boxed in slightly more, because if it's business, you want to have the same underlying mission statement, but the person you are to carry out that mission statement to its fullest extent is going to have to change. If it's personal development and all your point has going for them is the fact that they breathe, then you are just going to have to hold a funeral for that old self and move towards the greater, better version of you.
So I'm going to agree and disagree with you. I agree in the sense that you are going to have to grieve different parts as you move to the better version of yourself. I'm going to disagree there needs to be boxed in more, because I think when it comes to any sort of development, business, personal, it's possible to be loyal to your past self, providing they are beneficial traits you want to continue to embody. Like if you as a person, you genuinely in your sense of self believe that the values you want to align with are empathy, kindness, compassion for others, but that's been clouded by your trauma, your drug abuse, or whatever it might be, it's possible to still be loyal to those values and those decision-making abilities or how you've navigated, but you need to be true to who you are, which does mean abandoning those things that no longer served you. So I both agree and disagree with you, but I think it is possible to be loyal, providing you're loyal to the correct parts of yourself. But then the question is, how do you identify what are the correct parts of yourself?
It's very difficult to do. And that's, I guess, your intuition has got to just guide you. If something feels right, you've got to learn to... Actually, you've probably got to judge it for a while, because for a long time, you've probably been going off of your intuition, which has been telling you to drink, or it's been telling you to use drugs or whatever you want to do, or go and cheat, go and do this, go and do that. So you can't just blindly trust your intuition. I think you've got to rebuild and regain self-trust to go, no, it's okay for me to do what I think feels right now. And the more reinforcers you can put or build up over time to prove that it's okay to trust what I naturally think. Because for a long time as well, you're going to even question the very idea of improving yourself. Or like, why do I want to stop drinking? Really? Like, do I care? Like, do I want to stop? I enjoy drinking, so hang on a second, that's all the signals I've usually needed to drink.
Yeah, it's going to require a lot of introspection, isn't it? And you're going to have to question values and prophecies you've almost put in place to keep yourself safe, whether, like you said, or whatever excuses you might have made. So yeah, that's really interesting. So, curiosity, jumping off the back of that, is attempting to stay the same for the sake of others a form of self-betrayal?
Yeah, absolutely.